Us humans have evolved from apes. We're animals just like every other creature, but for some reason, we feel love in such a complex way. And it's because we're intelligent. But deep down, we're still animals. We still have that biological drive to crave love. Because once you open your eyes, realize what's going on in your head, what's going on in our brain, you'll realize that everything's kind of a joke. Love in this generation is just a setup for chaos and destruction. And before any of y'all say that, oh, he's edgy and he's trying to be emo and he doesn't believe in love, don't even say that. Come on, I'm not even trying to be that guy. Maybe I am that guy, but I actually have some valid reasoning, all right? Back in the day before I was even born, all you had to do was hang out with a girl, call them like rarely, once in a blue moon, and that was it. Now you have to text your girl, call her, buy her Uber Eats, listen to her talk shit about her friends for an hour, and then sleep on call with her. You know how stupid that sounds? Sleep on call. Sleep on call. You know how many times my ex asked me to sleep on call with her? If you're not at least in your mid-20s, if you don't have things figured out, there's no point in being in a relationship just because you don't know yourself enough and you have to grow with another person. Because your relationship's not gonna last. We're all immature. We don't know anything in life. You see this? Look at this. You really think your high school relationship's gonna last? You delusional 2% of high school relationships make it till marriage. Before you get into a junkyard of a relationship and ruin your junkyard of life, you know, I just think if you're 16, 17, 18, you just don't know yourself enough. You don't know yourself, you don't know your flaws, you don't know your insecurities, and you're trying to figure someone else out when you don't even know yourself. And you know, there's always gonna be people that are like, oh, I need to find my husband, I need to find my husband. So a lot of people get into relationships for the image of it. You don't want a relationship. You see everyone around you, you know, you're in high school, love's in the air. So I can tell my kids that me and my husband met in high school. People get curious. It's a cool experience. You learn a lot from relationships. You learn about yourself. You learn about other people. I want to be high school sweethearts. You know how stupid you sound? You're getting into a relationship and you want just to tell your kids that you guys met in high school. I swear to God, I know people like this. I'm not even joking. I'm not saying, oh, you know, don't get into a relationship. You know, never get into a relationship. No, I'm not saying that. You know, it's a cool experience. You learn a lot about yourself. You learn a lot about other people. But it should only take one relationship, one breakup to realize, oh, maybe I should work on myself. Maybe I should work on my career, work on my priorities, work on my goals before I get into another relationship. There's people that mindlessly get into relationships one after the other. At that point, you're not doing it for growth. You're not doing it for love. You're doing it as an escape. And you know, it's always, oh, the guy has to provide, the guy has to pay. And we're teenagers, we're broke as Yeah, obviously, you know, your partner's supposed to buy you stuff, materialistic things in a relationship, but it shouldn't revolve around that. I remember last year when I was still with my ex, I had to pay such like a huge bill at a restaurant and I didn't have the money for it. I didn't have a job. You know, I know girls that say that, oh, he's not putting effort anymore. He's not buying me gifts anymore. You know, he needs to buy my nails and but effort shouldn't be measured on how much money you put into a relationship, you dumb. So I called my dad and I said, I hit him up with, oh, I need money, please. I need to spend it on my girlfriend. And you know what he said to me? He was like, it should be how much effort a partner puts in to grow together, to willingness to mature. What the I gave you money last week. You spent that all? You're wasting this money on a stupid girl. And he was right. That relationship didn't work out. I wasted all my money. And her, she wasted nothing. People forget what the point of a relationship is. The point of a relationship is to help someone out. It's to become happier together than you are single. This guy Sammy gets into a relationship every month and doesn't stop and think, why aren't these relationships lasting? Yo, bird nest. You know, look at me, I got a girlfriend, you know, I'm cool, you know, I got a girlfriend, I got laid, I'm cool. Yeah, I want to feel validated, but it's just stupid. You know, I just don't think you should be in a relationship right now unless you would just want to get laid. Like, sure, I'm making fun of these people who just want to get laid, but really, they're the smart people.
Look at it for a sec. Like, look at the camera. Look at the camera.
Your relationship's not gonna last, so might as well just have fun. And call me immature if you want.
No, turn it this way.
Maybe I'm just a horny teenager. Maybe I'm going crazy. I think about sex every day. Am I going crazy? Maybe, am I going through puberty still? If you're watching this video, you're probably chronically on social media all the time, just like me, just like everyone else. And you know that social media is literally just a pretend game of who can make their life more interesting. One day I woke up and I thought to myself, oh, I want to get laid. So to hit up a bunch of girls on social media, all you got to do is set a corny profile picture with a corny mirror selfie, with some corny highlights, with a corny post, so people think you have a life, with a corny quote saying, I didn't come this far just to not come this far and not be happy. I swear to God, that's a real quote I saw. And then all you gotta do is DM a bunch of girls and tell them that they're gorgeous and pretend like you're interested when you're really not. You just want to. 1 out of the 50 girls you hit up, it actually goes somewhere. And then you go to a date and then it doesn't work out. And then you forget to text them and you're just not interested anymore. You can compare it to playing Fortnite. You know, when you start off playing Fortnite, you suck at it. You're not good at it. You get to top 10, your heart's pounding. And maybe you say something weird to the girl and then she doesn't like you anymore, but who cares? Cue the next game. After a while, you stop caring. Your heart's not pounding anymore. It's effortless. You just say whatever the you want, you're good at it. Eventually, you'll get a win. You'll get laid. That's social. Talking with your girl for an hour straight on call. Tell me that's enjoyable, because it's not. If you're a boyfriend and you say that your girl's conversations are interesting, you're just lying. I swear girls are so good at talking about the most uninteresting shit and pretend like it's interesting. No, you know my friend Emily, she came into my work today and she asked for a discount and all you gotta do is say like, oh my God, yeah, that's crazy. Oh my God, yeah. And if you're a girl, you would know that you don't even want this guy to talk. You just want him to listen. So what the is happening? The guy doesn't even care about this girl's conversation and the girl just wants to talk about herself. You're telling me that's a relationship? So is that what I need to do to get laid? To be in a relationship? I need to pretend to care about a conversation so a girl can just blabber about her day? And I realized that the reason we feel love, the reason we make sacrifices, the reason we pretend to care about our partner's conversations is because deep down we just want to have sex. We're animals just like every other creature, so why else would we not want to have sex? Every animal is biologically rooted, programmed to want to pass down DNA. It's inevitable, it's human nature. For thousands of years, humans have been suppressing human nature, and that's why love's been getting more complicated. Tell me 50 years ago, it wasn't easier, because it was. You can just date a girl. If you broke up with her, you would never see her again. You wouldn't have to stalk her on social media, stalk her reposts, because that's what we do now. Tell me that's not unhealthy. Tell me that doesn't make you crazy. Tell me that doesn't make you obsessed, because it does. Even if you don't think in your head that you want to have sex, deep down, biologically, the reason you think all this, the reason you're going crazy for girls is because you want to have sex, even if you don't think that. Because we still have a biological, I'm repeating myself. So when I put myself in this mindset that love isn't real, it's just a bunch of chemicals in our body, you realize that everything's kind of stupid. And you know, people are gonna think this view is gloomy, it's dull, it's a sad way to look at life, but really it's not. It makes me happy. When I put myself in this mindset, I don't care about getting a girlfriend anymore. I'm happy, I'm not in a rush. I used to look at everyone else and see they had a girlfriend and I would get jealous, but now I don't care. My last relationship was horrible, but that relationship led me to learn about myself, learn about my flaws, my insecurities, what I need to work on. And I've been working on them ever since. And that relationship felt like a loop. Every week we'd break up randomly and then we'd hang out again. And then we'd have sex and then forget our problems. I was in a loop, I was in a cage, but I had the key to get out of this cage. I could have just broken up with her, but I was attached. I was attached to someone I didn't even love anymore. I tried telling her like, oh, we need to change. We need to grow in this relationship. There's no more growth anymore. And you know what she said? She was like, what the f is wrong with you? Are you manipulating me? And that's when I realized, yo, there's no saving her. This is crazy. A lot of people watching this video, they're not gonna agree with me. And I don't want you to agree with me. I'm not trying to persuade you. You know, listen to my perspective. Listen to it, see what you believe in, see what you can take from my perspective. And see if you can resonate with it. See if you can agree with anything. Because if you don't agree with it, that's fine. Like you learn something about my perspective. You learn something, a new view in life. That's it. Because you know, if you're in high school, if you're young, going into high school, getting out of high school, going to university, you don't need to be taking relationships seriously. Obviously, treat this person with respect, but you're not gonna marry them. You're not. Look at this, you see this? 2%. And I know you delusional f***s are gonna be like, oh, me and my partner are gonna break this statistic. Okay, if you guys end up getting married, come back to me and tell me that you proved me wrong, because I know that's not gonna happen. You know, I'm going into university in like about a week, and I'm going into university with the mindset that I'm not gonna get with any girls. I'm just gonna fuck them and leave. You know, maybe I'm just immature, but like I know in a few years I'm gonna think this view is cringe because it seems like so negative, but it's not. You don't need to be posting on social media, pretending to be someone you're not. You're still gonna do it, but at least be aware of it. You know, you don't have to try to be cool to impress other people because you have yourself. No one else thinks like you. You're you. There's no one else like you. So don't ever think you're uninteresting. Never try to be someone you're not just for validation so people think that you're cool. Yeah, you know, be yourself. You don't change for someone that's not worth sacrificing for. Yeah, I'm done.